MCU, go.
Hello!
Welcome!
All Out Karma Machine. You know you love us.
But
Allegedly.
Not in the weird sense, please. That's...
Allegedly.
What?
This one's Aaron.
What's up?
This one's Max.
You didn't throw you off this time.
I'm the single most handsome individual that's ever walked this earth, Casey Shepard.
You wish.
Wait a minute, are you wearing the same shirt?
No. Go home. Anyway. Today, we are talking about MCU versus DCCU.
Because that's not confusing.
No, it's not. And for those of you who are like, what the hell are they talking about? It's the Marvel Cinematic Universe versus the Detective Comics Cinematic Universe. I didn't almost mess that up.
Yes, you did.
Remember Denver Comics?
No.
Remember Denver Comics?
Things happened earlier today.
I don't
when we were
remember what you're
discussing
talking
this
about.
topic.
Also, it was dinner, you idiot.
Dinner Comics.
Dinner comics, that's even better.
Good comics series.
No, we did it at dinner.
Never
Never mind.
Think of stuff.
We're starting off well.
Yep.
So the majority of us actually haven't seen like any of the DC movie things.
I mean, I've seen both of the current... Of their current universe, I've seen both Man of Steel and Batman vs.
I
Superman.
liked Man of Steel.
Man of Steel was alright.
I didn't
enjoyed
really
it.
like Man of Steel,
It-
but that's just because it felt overlong to me.
Yeah, it wasn't paced well.
Yeah.
It just felt like a long movie. But that's... Movies, technical aspects of movies aside, we're just going to talk about, I think, mostly characters is
No, we're just
where
talking
most
about-
of my argument lies.
That's fine. That's a fine thing.
Because the characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I've always thought this was kind of a problem with DC.
Can I
because,
butt in really quick?
Yes, you may.
Okay.
No, you may not.
So I just want to clarify: when we say the Marvel Cinematic Universe, are we including the things owned by Disney, Sony, and Fox?
We might contrast those in a bit.
Right now we're just talking about the
Right now we're
Disney-
just talking overarching.
So right now we're
Disney-
talking about
Disney,
Disney
versus
MCU.
Warner Brothers.
Yeah,
Disney.
basically.
Okay, just so that our audience is clear.
Yes.
We don't include Deadpool for how amazing that movie was.
Mm-hmm.
Really good movie.
But the main problem that I've had, and I've had this kind of problem with the DC, just DC as a whole for a while, is that the characters, like, some of them are meant to be human, but then go and display these godlike feats
For those
that make no sense. I.e. Batman dodging lasers that move faster than light.
Wait, what?
That happened in
What?
the comics.
What?
I don't remember which comic it happened in. Feel free to shout it out in the comments because I know you will.
Oh, by the way,
We have 0 comments in our videos.
someone might be the first to comment on this video if they know about that thing.
Yeah.
We have comic book friends, but apparently, from things I've read, there's a current like Justice League story arc where Batman literally becomes a god.
Oh yeah. Though that's actually kind of good. Because they're actually admitting that he's literally become a god. As opposed to
Yeah.
saying he's still a dude.
Yeah.
But that's been a problem with the DC universe for me, is that the main three, I mean, Wonder Woman is the most relatable of the main three, and she is an ancient Greek warrior who is the daughter of Diana.
Is she technically Greek?
Yeah,
Yes.
well, Amazonian,
Well,
but
they were
same difference.
The Amazonians, I think, in Greek mythology, they were from across the Atlantic or
Yes.
the Mediterranean.
they were from across the Mediterranean.
And they were. They're more myth than anything else, as far as we know.
Yeah. See, I just
Maybe the Greeks made it to South America or the Americas, and were like, "Hey, look, chick warriors, cool."
that would be cool.
There were chick warriors and tribes in Africa as well, but I think they were very far south, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly.
I just
Maybe the Greeks got there. We don't know.
Maybe.
yeah. I
Greeks
just was,
did do a lot of stuff.
The Greeks.
They conquered the known world at one
And
point,
then
and
the
then
Romans did.
immediately fucked it all up.
Well, they didn't immediately. What's his face? Alexander the Great died, and then his generals were like, "Hey, I'm king. No, I'm king. No, I'm king." And then there's like 4 kingdoms.
Yeah.
and that's what screwed it over.
Yeah.
Same thing happened to Genghis Khan, actually. Fun fact.
By the way, we can't use another F-bomb because you already used it because PG-13.
We're not PG-13. Fuck that.
All right, we're rated R now. Sweet.
There we go. Not safe for work, everybody. But yeah,
Okay.
the main problem that I've had is that the characters aren't that relatable, especially the big three of Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. Like, the Flash and the Green Arrow have always been the most relatable DC characters to me, and that might just be a personal thing, but Marvel has always had a lot of characters that you could relate to. Like Iron Man, yeah, he commits some godlike feats and is genius beyond compare, but he's also an alcoholic. And that kind of stuff humanizes characters. And
Hey,
that's
Aaron,
what
are you
DC
admitting
forgets.
something?
I mean, I am a genius.
Oh,
I missed the comment that's just happened, so I'm gonna have to watch this later to understand what just happened.
he said he was talking about Tony Stark being a human, like being an alcoholic, and he was talking about relatability.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Now. I get it.
Yeah.
Now.
yeah, and I was trying to call him an alcoholic, but he was like clever.
And then I turned it on its head somehow because
You're
one
a
moment
genius.
of brilliance throughout the entire podcast.
This is gonna be the last one, I promise. I'm so sorry, guys.
Anyways, we've been rambling on for a little while now.
Yeah,
Is there anything
no,
else anyone
okay.
wants to contribute?
I don't like the DCU. At least the movies. They don't seem to have the writers. Like that's where they really lose me. Like you think of Marvel movies, you have got Stinking Cap 2,
which was amazing.
I watched it recently because it's
It's on point.
Hail Hydra. That's all.
Yeah, I know, but just like that's a darker comic book movie. I mean, it's not the darkest comic book movie. That's good at least.
There was that Daredevil movie, but it wasn't good. Anyway.
Yeah,
No.
old Marvel Cinematic Universe is kind of sketchy.
It's bad. Anyway, but the new Disney MC, they seem to just be on point almost always with their writers, and like you said, like the characters are really important to comic book stories, and they're knocking it out of the park. Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man,
Still need to see Ant-Man.
You do need to see Ant-Man. Should we
discuss
just
that
cancel
later.
the podcast and watch
We
Ant-Man?
can discuss that later. Let's get back to podcast.
We are a podcast.
I would like to put up a motion to cancel the podcast and watch Ant-Man.
I have 2 votes and veto both. So
Oh.
Well,
Oh,
yeah.
goodness.
So
Yeah, no, they're just like they're not on point. Like
DC is not on point.
yeah, DC's just not on point. Like both their movies in this current. I mean, this may. I guess to be fair, this is a little bit of a fresh reboot. They're only 2 movies in, and their television series, from what I understand, I haven't watched The Flash or
the
Green
television
Arrow.
series have moments of greatness and moments of being really kind of campy.
Yeah.
The most recent episode of Arrow is an example of the really campy silliness that is their television shows. But
I've never been a fan. I don't care about
all
The Flash or
the bee puns.
bee puns.
Yes, bee puns.
Not
Like-
as in
like-
not the bees.
Yes, as in not the bees. Except they're robotic. Spoiler alert.
What DC?
It's probably a story arc that happened eventually somewhere.
Somewhere.
Okay, well, actually, in DC's defense, Marvel does have Guardians of the Galaxy, and everybody loves that movie.
Yeah.
We have a literal tree man and a raccoon.
Who are best friends?
A raccoon with guns.
All of the guns.
I am Rocky Raccoon.
Speaking of which, contrasting the different Marvel studios is kind of interesting too.
Yes.
Because Marvel has currently 3 different companies that own licenses for its movies. There's Disney, who owns
and they're
most of it,
well,
and they're doing
yeah.
pretty well.
They're largely doing the best. And
There's Fox, who
Till
are making
Deadpool came
great X-Men movies. I liked Days of Future
With-
Past
with
quite a
the-
bit.
well, the
They have-
last 2 X-Men movies plus Deadpool
Yeah.
and maybe Apocalypse.
Apocalypse might be good. Stay tuned.
We will cast our judgment on that probably in a later podcast after.
They
And-
erased. I mean, I always jokingly call X-Men Days of Future Past X-Men Days of erasing all of the bad X-Men movies except X-Men 1, which is actually a good movie.
I mean,
2
that's
is-
basically what it was.
2 is okay.
Yeah, they're like, hey guys, we're so sorry for these horrible movies. We erased them in the canon. You're
But did they-
welcome.
And then there's,
Did they erase the horrible Wolverine movies?
Yeah,
though?
that was erased.
Yes.
and then
Except in the current ones now, he doesn't have steel or adamantium bones anymore. They're bone again.
and
in
then
the current X-Men universe.
that
From what
ties
I understand,
into
you shouldn't
the
even have those,
Wolverine. He gets the adamantium claws cut off in the movie The Wolverine.
Yeah, that
Was that a good movie?
It was a fun movie. I
enjoyed it.
It wasn't the greatest.
It had some leaps in logic in the storytelling, but that's probably another podcast.
Never saw it. Don't care.
That's fair.
And then we've covered Fox, we've covered Disney. We know they're doing a pretty good
We
job,
didn't
and
talk
they
about
own the
Deadpool.
world.
We didn't talk about
We did not
Deadpool.
talk about Deadpool.
But everyone knows that it was
But
fantastic.
I want
and
to
those
talk
who
about
say
the,
otherwise are wrong.
Actually, I can make a case for it just being good, not fantastic.
That's fair. I could see that.
I would like to.
It was good, not fantastic.
Move on to the train wreck that is Sony's Marvel Studios.
Do they own Fantastic Four?
Fantastic!
Do they though? I thought that was Fox.
No, they do.
Oh, sweet.
They own Fantastic Four and Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. They're lending him.
And
to-
they're lending Spider-Man to Marvel, which is probably the best decision they've made.
To Disney Marvel.
Yeah.
I like how we have to preface all of this.
To
stuff.
Disney Marvel. It's as confusing as comic books.
That's actually true.
Yep.
There's how many different Green Lanterns are there? Because I know one of them is actually gay.
There's the gay one, there's
Hal
the
Jordan.
asshole, there's Hal Jordan, and there's the black one. And those are the ones that I remember.
The black one is personally my favorite from what I know about him, just because it's like
He
it's
is
a
pretty
blind
great
dude
on
who
the
suddenly
animated
starts
shows.
fighting crime, and it's awesome.
He's Daredevil with actual powers, basically.
No, Daredevil has powers. He has super
Yeah.
because he can hear
He can hear shapes.
Yeah, he can hear shit.
And I can taste colors. This podcast is a wreck, guys.
Woo! We're only 11 minutes in. We've got 9 more to fill.
11 minutes in, and we've
prepared.
touched on Sony a bit, but I just want to go into it. We've had 5 Spider-Man movies.
The trilogy.
Each time.
The trilogy was good.
The trilogy was pretty good, and the first Amazing Spider-Man movie was solid.
It was fun. I enjoyed it.
And then the second Amazing Spider-Man movie did the exact same thing that Spider-Man 3 did. They went and they made the exact same mistake. Too many villains, too many plot threads, nothing felt connected.
I didn't see it. I got bored halfway through.
That's fair.
My little sister and I were trying to watch it, and it was
Andrew
like,
Garfield and Emma Stone killed as Peter Parker and Gwen
I
Stacy.
just don't care about Emma Stone. Am I the only one who doesn't care about Emma Stone? Probably.
She's a good actress, but
That's fair.
I don't care.
They just
don't
had,
care-
they
you
just
don't care
had
about a lot
good
of things.
chemistry together, though, as the characters.
they did.
They just seemed to work well off of each other, which I liked. It's a shame that second movie got so scathed by the fire that they decided to have another Peter Parker now, because we can't do Miles Morales, heaven forbid.
I would actually be interested to see that, mostly because I know nothing about the character.
Yeah,
He's interesting in his background. I don't remember the exact origin story.
Well, you know,
Somehow he gets powers and is saved by Peter Parker. Peter Parker is injured or killed in the process. This may be entirely wrong. And so he takes up the mantle of Spider-Man because he has a similar or the same power set.
That's actually neat. But you know what they could do with the new Spider-Man reboot? They could introduce the Scarlet Spider, because from what I know of that story arc, it is amazing.
The Clone Saga, that's an interesting story arc.
And see, you could do
Parts
that.
of it are a mess, but parts of it aren't.
I don't read comics.
I really should read comics.
I read Spider-Man pretty religiously for a good long time. And then one day more happened. One more day. One day more is the song from Les Miserables.
I just don't read comics.
Anyway.
I'm not a very visual person, so I'm not
into comics.
No, and then just I'm not as fast of a reader as I would like to be to really just sit down and read.
That's fair.
I'm not either.
That's fair.
I suppose we should probably get kind of back on topic now to MCU
Movies.
versus DCCU.
Yeah.
That is a mouthful. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it is.
MCU v DCCU.
You almost
Dawn
messed it up.
of something.
Anyway, yeah, no, my biggest
Orphan Fight.
Oh, Orphan Fight.
That's a better title than Batman versus Superman. Dawn.
You mean Bats v Soups?
Bats v Soups. That's what I always called it, because I was probably the only one not psyched for the trailer, and
I wasn't
No,
psyched,
I was
but
there
I
with
wasn't
you.
disappointed either. Whereas Suicide Squad, I was just kind of like, really?
yeah,
Those are the decisions you're making?
all of the decisions that Warner Bros is making with the DCCU I just don't like any of them, with the exception of the casting of Superman and Wonder Woman.
They have been doing pretty solidly with casting. These are people that I wanted to see in those roles.
I heard Batfleck was actually really
Yeah,
good.
I haven't had a chance to see that movie,
Batfleck
but
was
Batfleck
pretty
I've heard
solid.
is amazing.
Yeah.
You said it's your favorite Batman?
It's my favorite Batman personally. I'm not going to say it's the best because that's going to unleash a storm of hatred from everyone.
But do it. No, say it's the best. Say it's the best. We need a storm of hatred.
That requires a different podcast. I'm going to make a case for Batfleck being the best Batman at some point. Stay tuned.
We've got like 5
Hey
minutes. You can do it
guys.
now.
Hey guys.
I don't have it prepared.
Hey
though.
guys.
Oh, okay.
Hey guys. Is George Clooney the best Batman ever?
Yes.
100%. Arnold is the best Mr. Freeze ever.
I heard it here first, folks.
Ice to see you.
And now we have lost all of our fans.
All 3 of them.
No, I would say
Okay,
we still
then.
keeps on with him, mostly because at least the one that I know is like Marvel's better. So
Yeah.
because Marvel's better.
No, they're just...
They're doing better with the films. They're hitting the
Yeah.
right notes.
No, I don't want to like start which comic series is better, DC or Marvel. I don't really care about that because I'm not a comic book fan. I just
And there's
I'm
80 years of continuity
Oh,
that
yeah.
you have to look
So
at to
many
really
comics.
decide.
So many comics.
yeah, it's just I don't really care. But when I like the movies, I like comic book movies. When I like good comic book movies, and right now Marvel has all of them.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Man of Steel. I think in part because I enjoy Henry Cavill as an actor.
It's a good
And
actor.
just
He's so good in Man from U.N.C.L.E.
watch
Another
the
tangent.
watch the Man from U.N.C.L.E. Do it. You'll thank me later. Anyway, I liked the Man of Steel. I thought that the action was really cool, and everyone gets mad at Superman for like destroying everything. But I'm just like, Superman is basically Kryptonians are basically gods on planet Earth, and if they actually duked it out like that, there would be destruction on that scale.
Mhm.
So quit whining.
Yeah.
And then I think
Especially if they weren't trying to take it away from populated areas like Dragon Ball Z. There's a running joke on Dragon Ball Z Abridged, which is also great, that they always try to take the fights away from populated areas to wastelands. And there's like 1 million wastelands on that planet for some reason.
you mean Earth
Yeah.
Probably because they didn't do that
Or
initially.
or
Namek,
which
yeah.
is just a wasteland.
But like they try to take the fights away from wastelands and that, and I
You mean
think
2 wastelands?
Yes, 2 wastelands and away from populated areas. And I think that's what everyone was expecting Superman to do in this fight, and he didn't.
I think he
Which
kind
is
of does in the
somewhat
comics, from what I've
disappointing,
heard
but-
from one of my
Well,
friends.
okay, but here's the deal. He's never fought before, right?
That's true.
yeah.
Conflict in fighting is a remarkably complex thing, especially
And
when
Zod is a general.
yeah, especially when you're dealing with trains. You know, when you're just a guy from Kansas, right, fighting against trained soldiers. And you're this is like you're literally your first fight of this caliber. You're not gonna be like, hey, how do I expertly deviate this fight out into the cornfields of Kansas?
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna be able to do that.
Yeah.
You're just gonna end up breaking the whole town and just beat them up as you can because you have nothing better to do.
Well, and see, like, I feel like the DCCU could possibly be really great because DC has some of the greatest villains I
They
know
do
about.
have some excellent villains.
Because
and
like the
rogues.
Joker, like Heath Ledger's portrayal was just flat out amazing. But like he's just so complex. And by the way, because Superman's a god, he found out who that is, and that's going to be interesting. But it's just so.
I rejected that reality though. That's a side tangent.
We might get into that later if I actually decide to read those Justice League comics. But it's just that, like, Marvel has some good villains. Like they have Mandarin, Ultron, which could have been done better than it
He was okay.
Yeah,
I
honestly, he
I
felt
will
a little
defend
flat to me.
I will defend the Age of Ultron.
in a later
Ultron.
podcast.
No, I'm gonna do it right now because we
But
have
Casey-
we have a minute left.
We have a minute left. Make
Can
it
I
kiss.
finish my tangent?
Fine.
Can I finish my thought?
Then I'm defending Ultron.
Okay, we
Sounds
might
good.
go a little bit over our 20-minute mark. We apologize.
No, we don't.
It's 20 to 30 minutes, something like that. But so, cause like we've got Ultron, Mandarin, Thanos, and a bunch of other villains in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that are good, but we also have ones that are kind of terrible. Like they're not because like their hero counterpart is terrible, just because they're not the greatest villains. Like Kingpin is literally just a super muscular mob boss. Not saying that he's a bad villain, but that's literally all he is.
Excellently.
You
in
haven't
Netflix's
seen,
Daredevil.
you have not seen Vincent D'Onofrio as the Kingpin.
I have
Yeah.
not seen all of it. I've seen some of it.
Oh,
I
maybe.
do
Go
need to
finish
binge
that.
watch Daredevil.
Netflix's
Go finish
Marvel
that.
shows are also excellent. I'm not
Yes.
sure if those are run by Disney or not.
They are. I'm fairly certain they're part of
I know
Disney.
they're part of the Disney universe,
They're-
but I'm
they're
not
part
sure
of-
if Disney
they're-
is directly funneling money
I don't
into
think.
them.
I think it's just Marvel, but they're part of the Disney
Yeah.
Disney MCU because they're
Because Defenders are going to show up at some point.
and then one of
Luke Cage!
yeah, and
That
then,
makes me happy.
one of the characters in the first Daredevil series, he's like a reporter. He has he had a piece. He writes for a paper in one of his award-winning articles or whatever about the Battle of New York against the Chitauri was.
You're right,
He's
and
caged, yeah.
the Battle of New York is really staged in the first season, but
Yeah.
it's the aftermath of it is staged very strongly in the first season. So.
But anyway,
Yeah, and
to go back to my thought, like
Yep.
DC has great villains. Like Clayface, even though he's just kind of muscle, is interesting because he can become literally anything he wants, and is, in my opinion, slightly better than Sandman, who can also do that. But that's besides the point. But yeah, you have Clayface, you have the Joker. Like most of Batman's villains are amazing, and Superman's are good. I don't know a lot about them, but I know
Really, the biggest one is
Doomsday-
Lex Luthor, and then there's
Doomsday,
Doomsday,
Luthor,
and
Zod.
Zod.
Darkseid is an
Darkseid
overall
is
villain though.
Darkseid and Thanos are literally the same character.
Yeah.
I don't know who came up with it first, so I'm not going to get into that. But
Yeah,
they're
we
the same.
could do
character.
research. You can do research. But yeah, like DC has some great villains. I feel like if they just had the right writers, they could make these amazing stories that would capture audiences.
yeah, and directors too. Though Zack Snyder's good. I don't think it was the directing that ruined, from what I understand, that ruined.
It was
Batman
It
suits.
was largely the script.
Yeah.
in my opinion. Just
Yeah,
the way the script was set up and paced
They really need
is
better
really
writers.
what made that
Anyway,
movie suffer.
I want to defend Ultron now in the latest.
Go ahead.
the
I might
latest.
have
Okay.
some rebut for you.
That's fine.
See, I just thought the movie itself wasn't.
No, the
Wasn't
movie
up to
it
their
was kinda-
caliber.
no, it wasn't. It was really boring, and a lot
It
of it
was
felt
really
forced?
kind of the same as the first.
Yeah, it was the same. It was just the same.
Except we got Scarlet Witch, which is nice.
Yeah, I
and
enjoyed
we got the Vision, which makes me happy because Vision is awesome.
Vision was cool.
They shouldn't have revealed that in the trailers. That's another tangent.
Did that happen in the trailers?
It did have.
They revealed
I didn't
Vision
watch-
at the end of one of the trailers.
I didn't watch them, so
I tried not to, and then I gave in, and I did, and I kind of regret.
Yeah, I don't care. Anyway, actually, my dad and I, neither of us are comic book fans, and we're just sitting there in the theater going, "Who is this? Is that is this Jarvis? This is just Jarvis. It's literally just Jarvis."
Except cooler because he can literally float through things, which they didn't portray well in that movie at all.
I don't really.
Just
care.
saying.
Anyway, I really enjoyed Ultron in that movie. He is a sassy villain. He was so much fun.
That's true.
His writing was brilliant. I loved everything about it. Like the only thing that was kind of off about the character is just his random obsession with meteors. Like that could be explained because he's going for like purification.
That
or-
was a thing.
I
Yeah.
mean, like, I think what
Didn't
they were
notice.
trying to go for is that he was trying to create another mass extinction.
Yeah, he was going for a mass extinction event, and he was just like, "This has worked in the past, so let's do it again." And that was his thought process. It wasn't explained.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, probably could have been explained better, but like just the things that he says and the the acting for Ultron was a lot of fun. I really,
Who was that? Who did the voice for?
I don't remember.
I don't remember
'Cause-
either. I don't really care.
He was. It was
Comments,
amazing.
you can tell us if you appear.
Yeah, you comment. Yeah, I enjoyed Ultron. I thought he was a fun villain in that movie.
He was.
I enjoyed Ultron, and I think it is entirely too plausible that an AI would decide to kill us all after spending like 30 seconds on the internet.
Skynet.
Yeah. It's entirely too plausible. You have an artificial intelligence, it goes to the internet. Second it finds 4chan, it's going to nuke Saul.
Or Reddit. Reddit's also pretty.
Yeah,
terrible.
Reddit's pretty bad.
Not as bad as 4chan.
But Reddit's
See,
still pretty
the
bad.
funny thing is that Reddit tries to be 4chan and